King of Arlia here. Welcome back to Let's Play Terraria. Last time, we fought our way to the jungle and started exploring a particularly large cave. But before we get into what we're going to do for today, I would like to apologize for the schedule slip. Because, well, maintaining a YouTube channel, plus Dungeons and Dragons, plus college do not make for very good time management. So, on particularly bad days of my classes, I'm going to cut videos entirely on those days, considering I'm literally gone for the entire day on one of them. But also, I've recently started playing another game, Kerbal Space Program. As soon as I add some funds to my Steam wallet, I'm going to start making an LP of it. I wanted to make a blind LP of it, but I wasn't too sure about my ability to run it on my computer. I did more or less a test recording of that computer, of the game, and it seems to be working fine. So now I have another game to add to my library. Unfortunately, I'm canceling the Chrono Trigger LP because... Ooh, a Snatcher. Because I just cannot get into the mindset to finish my practice run. And I think I'm just about at the halfway mark of the game, too. Well, based on my memory, at least. But, back on topic. Today, we're going to try to explore. That's why in the last video I forgot torches. How do I forget torches? I just don't know what to say right now, viewers. I just do not know what to say. But, coming soon, there's actually going to be a bit of variance with our armor. Now, the problem is, we can go about our armor in certain ways. Do we want strong armor, like the Shadow Scale armor? Do we want armor that's suited for magic, which I still have yet to get any spells at all? But there are a few good spells that actually outdamage a lot of weapons. Or we can go for armor that helps us, well, survive, really, without requiring high defense. I can't think of anything on top of my head, but I will point it out when I find it. If you guys want me, I can summarize it as pretty much either a fighter, a wizard, or a rogue. And when I played this game before, I went with the fighter and wizard routes. So I might go with the rogue option, unless you tell me otherwise. Weapons. We'll be using firearms as the rogue and the wizard. One in particular as the wizard, though. But, if you guys really want me to play with a rogue-like kind of build, and I'll go for it. If not, I'll probably default to Wizard. But I've learned a valuable lesson playing Dungeons and Dragons over the weekend. If the monster you created seems a bit too powerful for its challenge rating, assuming you're playing 3.5, it probably is. Although a party of 2 characters surprisingly did a number on it before they got slaughtered. 2 level 2 characters, in fact, a rogue and a wizard. I keep going off track. I cannot stay on track. Let's see. Whoop. Not gonna pass you up. I'm actually considering fighting the Eye of Cthulhu again relatively shortly. Maybe we taking a break from exploration. Maybe as we finish the floating island, we'll fight the Eye of Cthulhu. Possibly alongside the Eater of Worlds. I keep telling you, I think the Eater of Worlds is the easiest boss in the game. I mean, he's the monster he's the boss you fight if you're speedrunning the game. Aside from possibly Skeletron. Whoops. I did not say that. Possibly from that third boss. I'm sure everybody who's played Terraria has at least heard of the bosses by now, and if you're playing alongside me blind, well, I'm sorry. This jungle actually reminds me a little bit of Evernight from Overlord. Another game I might possibly LP. I think it's a relatively obscure game. But if you've played Pikmin, it's kind of like that, except you're an evil overlord. I mean, it's kind of in the title. No, I don't want to go down here. No, nothing there. If you have any more suggestions for me to build stuff in this game, fire away. Excuse me? There's going to come a point where I literally run out of ideas. I don't want you guys to really, I'm not going to take requests that will literally involve me using other worlds to get the materials. Because, I mean, that's just, no, I'm not doing that. Because I prefer not to leave this world if I have any choice. I might have to play another world if I want to get my favorite weapon because of its limited availability. But that's the only exception. Ooh, is that a snatcher? Just a snatcher. You know, I'm just a bit surprised that those guys didn't even show up at all last episode. They're one of the main enemies here. This is probably not the best weapon for me to use. Okay, that was kind of close. Dope. Does somebody even tell me why I'm doing this anyway? I mean, I'd feel much better if I knew why I was doing this. It looks like we got a little bit of draining going on. Okay, I'm going to stop going that way. Because I don't want to flood the caverns. If you can avoid it in Terraria, do not flood caverns. Again, only if you can avoid it. Ah, so you have a friend. Darn it, what's with all these bats? It feels like I'm playing, the Nightmare on Elm Street nest game, how many bats I'm finding here. Speaking of which, no, I am not a fan of the movies. I've never even seen any of them, and I do not plan to either. Because if you remember season 1 of Tekkit, assuming you've watched it, you'll be well aware that I do not deal well with fear or anything that might frighten me. And as such, I don't watch horror films. Oh, come on. Unless you count Tremors. Although I have to get around to watching. I have all 4 of the movies. My question is, why have I not watched them yet? Remember, check my official Facebook page for announcements and potential changes to the schedule. Oh wow, you guys jumped a bit higher than I was expecting. That is so... Ooh, Jungle Road. That's just stone. We need to go deeper. Not great, my ear's itchy. Ah, there we are. This is what we want to see. Welcome to the new, well, old underground jungle biome. The #1 most hated biome, according to me. Unfortunately, we have to be here. We want some particularly cool stuff, we need to be here. We don't necessarily, there's nothing critical, absolutely vital to our advancement we need in this biome. But it has an upgrade and a weapon I do not want to leave without. And just as I was hoping, we find a life crystals. Remember those snatchers? Yeah, I'll warn you now. They're meaner, bigger cousins lurk here. The man-eater, I think they're called. And we have to kill some for a crafting recipe. A snatcher. Why is this a snatcher? We were at the underground jungle. Maybe they spawn just high enough. Won't have to be a certain depth before I can get guaranteed snatchers. Not snatchers, man-eaters. They live up to their name, viewers. They live up to their name. They're not even the deadliest thing in the underground jungle. Any biome at all would be much safer than this if you ask me. I wouldn't recommend coming here unless you had top tier equipment. And I'm sure veterans of Terraria, or people who have died here, can agree. Remember when zombies were a big problem? I thought I was gonna go splat again. Oh, that's a snatch. You don't have what I want. Oh crap. The hornets! The hornets! Because I have less health than usual, we're in for a wild ride. If you can't see, there's a problem. If I even think I'm going to die, I'm just going to bail out of here. I don't care what you guys think. I'd rather not die. I'd rather be a coward than die horribly. Well, this is hardcore mode. There would be no complaints, really. Moonglow. Is that... No, that's not what I wanted. More health. We need all the health we can get. And we're almost at the max. So, would you look at that? There's the last health upgrade we need. Well, I'm just going to grab it, and run. Da 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 da. We have full health. You didn't even see really how bad those hornets are. Even in shadow scale armor at 400 health, those guys can still kill you faster than you can say. Actually, I don't know. I don't think there's nothing. But until next time, this is King of Arlia signing off. Have a good day.